made it to day 10. We are at the end of our second week together. I know this week has been a lot of judgment talk, and we're going to get a little bit more of it today, but the rest of the book is not as heavy on judgment. Today we're going to read Jeremiah 17 and 18. Now, there are a lot of good moments in these two chapters. I like in chapter 18 when Jeremiah goes down to a potter's house and he watches the potter making a bowl or some piece of ceramic, and something goes wrong with the clay and he has to remake it into something else. And Jeremiah says this is a picture of how God wants to do something with his people, but they frustrated his plans. And so God improvises and does something different with them that he didn't originally want to do. This is a key image that Paul is going to pick up on centuries later when he writes one of his letters to the Corinthians. So there are several good little moments like that in chapter 17 and 18 where the Spirit may poke you and say, I want you to focus on this. And if that happens, go with it. If that doesn't happen, I want you to focus on chapter 17, verse 1, and then also verses 9 and 10. In verse 1, Jeremiah compares the heart to a tablet of stone that can be engraved upon, etched, carved. And he says that our hearts have been carved with sin. Sin is not something that's painted onto our hearts. It's not something that can be removed with strong chemicals. It is etched into our hearts. Sin has changed the very shape and contour of our hearts. And then in verses 9 and 10, the question is raised, who can really see what's going on and how the heart has taken shape? Who can see the human heart? And the answer, of course, is, well, God can. God sees right through us. And what does he see? He knows that our hearts are incurably sinful, that we are broken, that we're busted up. And that thought is scary. The thought of being seen, the thought of being known, and being utterly vulnerable to the eyes of an other is scary. We can't hide from God. We can't fool God. Even if we're fooling ourselves, we can't fool him. So what is going on in your heart that you don't want anyone else to see? Jeremiah 17 and 18. I'll see you tomorrow.